Well, it's spring. You can see it's the time for new growth. Pretty flowers are flowering. And it's also time to start breeding quails. G'day folks, Andy here from McDowell Manor. Been collecting quail eggs for 4 days. Not quite 2 dozen, but that'll do, that's good enough. So step one is we're going to float test and rehydrate. So I'm just going to put these in some normal old tap water. Any that float get thrown away because they're no good. Hopefully we won't have any floaters. See, they're all sitting firmly on the bottom, which is exactly what we wanted. Now I leave them in for about 20 minutes, that way it sort of softens and rehydrates the shell. I did get another egg, so we're up to 23 now. I wish the buggers had given me one more. It would have been 2 dozen. Anyway, so we're going to disinfect them. Now the easy way to do that is I've got some mouthwash and I'll just make a 50-50 mix, and I'll use a little sprayer and I'll spray the eggs. Don't rub them dry or anything, just let them sort of dry. I'm going to do it on a cutting board, so I just leave them on the cutting board to dry. After that, the incubator running, I turned it on last night before I went to bed, so it's been running over 12 hours. You can see it's definitely up to speed. In fact, it's a little bit warm, but it's okay. The humidity's not as good as I'd like, but I think that's okay. It's certainly full of water, I made sure of that. I think the issue is it's still pretty cool, so hopefully everything will be okay. My day counter broke a long time ago, so it just does what it does. I write it on the calendar. So in a minute we'll spray those eggs up and then we'll get them in. All I did was a half cap of mouthwash and a half cap of water. Little spray bottle. We'll give them a nice spray up. I'll do more than that, just give you the idea, and then we'll let them dry. See, they're nice and damp. I've actually taken to letting them out. My quails, now I want to be very careful how I put this, because I don't recommend you do this at home. Now my quails are pretty tame because I handle them often. So I've actually got them out in this little cage. Now they can easily fly out of this cage. In fact, I've had them go up over that 6-foot wooden fence. So that's why I don't recommend people do it as a rule. But they do love getting out for a free range, so I let out 1 cage a day. I've got 3 cages. And there you go. You can see the little one at the back's the boy, and those 3 are the girls. You can see the girls have all got a little bit of damage where he's obviously been doing what he does best. Hence the quail eggs going in the incubator, so God bless him. If you look inside the incubator, you'll see those things are rockers. So you put the eggs in there and they rock backwards. They sort of rock backwards and forwards and backwards. It's complaining because it's gone under the temperature. So I'm going to actually not film it because I want to get those eggs in reasonably quickly. I mean, it's going to lose temperature, but I don't want it to lose heaps. For those who don't know, that's the foam that goes on top. Keep the foam box because it's a really good way of insulating your incubator. You put your eggs in, always make sure they're pointy edge down. So they're all in. It got down to 35.2, I think. But that'll pick back up pretty quick. Back up to 37.5. And now, folks, we've got 2 weeks. So I'll check in the interim. I'll check sort of every couple of days just to see what the humidity's doing. If it starts to get low, I have to worry about refilling the water reservoirs in the bottom. But usually that's not much of an issue. And at 14 days, we take the eggs out of those rockers you saw and just lay them on the bottom, and then we don't open it. I'll try and leave it for at least 3 or 4 days, so the majority have hatched. So just in that one conversation then, it's got almost back up to speed, so you can see it's pretty good. And I'll leave it there now, so hopefully you'll catch up for next time, and we'll see how we go. Well, you can see how much higher that humidity is now. At the end of day one, I had to come and top it up. She was beeping. I thought, what the hell's wrong with that? So I went downstairs. The temperature was good. It's actually a bit high because I've just restarted it. But the humidity was down less than 40%. So I say it gives you a warning when that happens, which is handy. But I'd say we're in for daily top-ups for the next 2 weeks. Bloody hell. Oh, it's too hot, too hot. If you enjoy these sort of videos, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. Thanks, folks. You have a good one, eh? Hooroo.